Today we're talking social media, talking marketing, talking why you post every day and no one wants to come to your salon. And it's super frustrating. I know, because it happened to me, but it doesn't happen to me anymore. You don't have to be the best at social media content. You don't have to post every single day, even though I think you should, at least in your stories. When it comes to creating social media content that actually converts the piece of content, the reel, the carousel, the whatever it is, into a client booking an appointment is trust. So, a lot of people post the same type of content that everyone else posts, and it's hard to establish yourself as an authority in a space, and it's hard to establish trust if you're just repeating the same thing that everybody else is posting. So when it comes to getting someone to book an appointment based off your social media, because social media is a form of marketing, they have to look at your piece of content and it has to stop them from scrolling. That's one of the most important things, right? It has to capture their attention. After you stop them from scrolling, you have to tell a story about who you are as a hairstylist, who your client is sitting in the chair, the story about their hair, the story about the transformation, the story about the product that you're using, the story about whatever that piece of content is trying to tell. Now, sometimes it's maybe a story about like a product review. It could be about your client who had damaged hair beforehand and you took her through the journey of going from a level 4 to a level 9 blonde, whatever that story is. And then you have to kind of tell them to do something afterwards, whether it's book an appointment, whether it's drop a comment, whether it's follow you, whether it's save, whether it's like, because people will do things that you ask them to do if you didn't waste their time watching the reel that you created. So that's important. Don't waste people's time. Now, from a trust factor, if you are creating content that's a little bit different than the rest of the world and you stand for something, like I brought this up in the past, I'm not a fan of painting hair. I think that people who do balayage, I think they're talented. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think there's a specific time for that technique. But I like to foil. I think that you could achieve the same look doing one or the other. That's where I stood on. Like that when I created content, when I was doing hair, I always kind of it was me versus it was foils versus balayage, and I kind of created content along those lines. And the clients who've gotten their hair balayage before, and they were left feeling orange, and they were left feeling like kind of brassy, and they didn't get the lift that they wanted. I was able to get them on my side, and I gave them my theory on why it's not as effective, and it worked. I was fully booked. I was doing the service that I love doing, which is highlights because I hated painting. And every now and then I would have a client that wanted me to paint their hair, and I would tell them it's not going to work. Your fucking hair's black, and this picture you show me is blonde, and you're never going to get there. So I'm not going to do it. But I would paint a piece for them, and I would show them. I would paint the first piece, and I would show them at the end of the service what that piece looked like, and it was never as blonde as the other pieces. So I want you to think about what you do behind the chair, what your salon's known for, what this is going to be kind of funny because it's like what are you against? Like what do you stand for in the industry and what do you not do? Like if for your salon, for example, because this is how I am behind the chair, I'm not a big fan of cancellation policies. I'm just not. I'm not a big fan of new client forms that they fill out before an appointment. I think it's stupid. I think cancellation policies, there's a place for them. I just don't like them. My salon in Florida just got a 1-star review from somebody who canceled last minute and they got hit with the cancellation fee and they were pissed and left a 1-star review. What I like to do instead is, hey, Cindy, I know that you're probably not aware of our cancellation policy, but there is a $20, $30, half, 50% charge, whatever the thing is. We're going to waive it this time. That's all. The next time, if you want to charge it, you could charge it. But what I do instead is, hey, Cindy, listen, you were late for your last couple appointments or you no-showed or, you canceled last minute. Moving forward, you're going to have to prepay for your appointments. That's all. If she values the service, and she's going to prepay for it. If she doesn't and wants to put up a fight, fine. You just can't get your hair done here anymore. And I feel less of an issue than a cancellation fee because they didn't show up, they didn't get the service. At least this, they're prepaying for the service, so they're still going to get it. So for me, that always worked well in my salon. But let's get back to content. When you have good social media content and you're building the trust with your audience, because anyone watching is an audience, your potential clients, your future clients, they're watching. And when I said earlier about consistency and posting every day, if you're not posting every single day, at least in your stories, what begins to happen is they may lose trust just because you're not consistent. If you're consistently showing up every single day and you're in their feed, and maybe it's not trust is the word I'm thinking of, but you don't impact their decision as much. So you don't build trust as fast. Let me say that because that's probably a better way of putting it. When you post every single day consistently and you show up and then all your good pieces of content, you run ads and you boost, you're in their feed all day long. I'm pretty sure that anyone watching this right now on Instagram has seen one of my pieces of content as an ad. I post so much, like I boost so many posts that I'm literally like everyone sees who like you see my stuff. And then that's how they begin to learn more about you and then binge your stuff and then build trust. So I don't believe in sales. I don't believe in selling. I think that your marketing should do all the selling for you. So that's why I do what I do. Now, from the hair standpoint, my clients, when I was behind the chair and I was fully booked, and I did this for my stylist too, who worked in my salon, I would spend probably like $60 a day for each stylist. And I would do this for the beginning part of their career in my salon. And it was an investment, right? It was substantial. But at the end of that 6 months to a year, right? Because I wouldn't do $60 every day for the whole year, guys. Let me just be clear. I would do it like I would run the ad $60 a day per stylist for probably a couple days to, a couple weeks. And then I would reap the benefits. Then I would take their organic content. I would probably cut their ad spend down in half. And then I would really start producing some really good content and let that run organically. See what did really well. And then I would start running those as ads. So if you wanted to use that kind of rhythm or cadence, here's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to post, wait 10 days, post every day for 10 days. Whichever did the best in those 10 days, I'm going to put $10 a day for 10 more days behind that piece of content. And every 10 days, I'm going to keep on doing that. And I might do that every day. So I might do it every day for 10 days and go back 10 days in the history of what I posted. And so at any given time, I may have $100 a day running with 10 different pieces of content. And I'm going to pick the 8-mile radius around my salon. And so I have a really good, diverse ad campaign running. And that's, guys, I'm talking Instagram here. I'm not talking Meta, like what I spoke about yesterday. This is just social media content. And this is how you're going to get your content to deliver results because you're getting a lot of attention. If it's shitty content, it's not going to work. So like I said before, it has to stop your scroll. They have to be able to be like, oh, what's this? Ooh, that person does something different. I'm intrigued now. Oh, I love that result. Oh, they told me to save, book an appointment, call the salon, do something after seeing that content. Like this is content creation 101, everyone. But if your social media isn't working right now, like you're putting everything you have into it, you got the nice expensive camera, you got the microphone, you did all the things. It's not working because people don't trust you and your content looks like everybody else's. And there's no reason why I should leave my stylist of 15 years or 10 years to go sit in your chair because how do I know you're going to be different? How do I know you're going to deliver the result that what I really want? And I don't trust that. That's why they're not booking an appointment. The other thing is you're not being social on social media. Sounds like a crazy idea. Get into more conversations. If you simply engage in a conversation with every single person that follows you, likes your posts, watches your story, leaves a comment, you're going to create what I call your circle of influence. You're going to increase it. That person may not want to leave their hairstylist, but that person may value the conversations that you have with them in the DMs to a point where when their friends like, oh, my hairdresser sucks. I need someone who's really good at highlights or blonding or could do this haircut for me. That person will probably recommend you to them. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had not non-clients send me clients based off my social media and how big my or how good my reputation was in like the moms groups on Facebook and the other groups that we had on Facebook in my community. Like literally, I would be talking to people in the DMs and they're like, "Oh, I want to come to you, but my sister's does my hair, or my sister-in-law does my hair, or my aunt does my hair, and I feel bad leaving them." Whatever the story was, but I send my friends to you all the time, and I can't wait for her to go on maternity leave so you can do my hair. Like there is like a personal connection, and you know this because you're a hairstylist between you and your client. So it's a really important that your social media content could build that trust and could break that bond. Like it's good enough to break that bond between the client and their current hairstylist. And that's what you're up against. Like when your clients are sitting here scrolling Instagram, they're saving posts and they're looking what's going on at the hairstylist's Instagram, and they're looking at the other salon down the street. Like you salon owners out there, like if you're sleeping on this, that's why you're losing clients to other salons and you're losing stylists. Your social media content needs to not just get people to sit in those chairs, it needs to get them to work behind them too. So, what are you doing as a personal brand? What are you doing as a salon owner? What are you doing in your salon to let hairstylists know that, hey, this is the salon you go to develop a career, to get fully booked, to be part of something bigger than just a bob? Like, there's more to my salon than just doing clients all day. Like, we have a culture, we have impact, we we help you transform from hair school, not knowing what you're doing, to a stylist, to a busy stylist, to a master stylist. We have education. Like our team here, like we not just make money, but we have impact on our community and our industry. So you need to have your social media tell that story. When you think of clients, this is for salon owners now listening, you have to think of hairstylists as your client. So when you're creating content, is it going to speak to the hairstylist who's looking to change salons and want to pick your salon? If it doesn't, then you're not going to be able to have an influx of hairstylists join your team. There's a salon down the street from me, uh, Soraya. She used to work with me, and she opened up her own salon. She does a phenomenal job doing this. Like she's really good at social media, but she has a huge team right now. She created the social media presence around her salon to make people say, "I want to go there. I want to belong to that." She does a phenomenal job. So kudos to her. She really crushed it in that department. And it got me thinking, like, I'm not behind the chair anymore. She still is. And she was really able to capitalize on the experience she shows to the outside world of what it's like to work in her salon. That's huge. So for you as a salon owner, does your personal social media, does your salon social media do that? Do you capture attention? Do you captivate the person watching it? Do you waste your time on like waste that person's time watching your reel that doesn't have any payoff at the end of it? There should be a payoff, a trade-off, a tip being given. If you could become the authority on thinning hair in your area, so the person who's looking at your content, getting valuable information, they're going to say, I need to go to that person because they're going to help solve my problem. If you're the blonding expert, the premier blonding expert in your area, like think Jack Martin, the gray blending guy, right? You think gray blending? If you guys don't know who he is, go to Jack Martin on Instagram, check him out. People fly from all over the world to have him do their hair. From what I see in the pictures, his salon's nothing extravagant, right? He's a regular dude doing hair and he crushes it because he has a specific thing that he does. His social media tells a story, the transformation, he delivers a result. His finished product is phenomenal. He builds that trust post after post after post, trust enough for a person to get on an airplane and fly to his salon. This is 2026. Social media will change your life. Treat social media like it's marketing because it is. It's not about posting your martinis on Friday night with your friends. So every hairstylist listening right now and every salon owner who has that hairstylist who's like, I'm not good at social media, but yet on the weekends you're posting 15 times a day in your stories and you're all over social media when it comes to your own personal account. But when it comes to hair, you don't take it seriously. You need to shift your identity. As a professional hairstylist right now, you are a marketer. It's part of what we do. It's always been part of what we do. Except for years ago, our marketing happened at the barbecue, happened at the party, happened at the wedding, any kind of face-to-face interaction with people. You used to hand them a business card. You would do like mini consultations for people. This is how we got ourselves busy as hairstylists. You understand the opportunity that you have with social media? You could do this at scale. You can create one piece of content and do that for hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions. So let's do an audit of everyone's social media today. If you were a stranger and you go to your Instagram, by the way, I hate my social media. Like I'm always a student of the game. I'm the hardest critic of myself. I think it sucks. I think my lighting sucks. I think the studio sucks. I want to always elevate my marketing ability. So I want you to do the same thing. Go to your social media and I want you to look at it. And if you didn't know who you were, would you trust yourself? Would you trust your social media? Would you trust you as a hairstylist if the last time you posted was fucking August? For those of you listening right now, it's January 6th or 7th, 2026. If you posted in August of 2025 was the last time you posted, can you be trusted? Maybe it was November. No. You're not consistent. What are you doing? And I know, well, we're so busy. That's why I don't post all the time. Well, at least maybe your stories are busy. If you're putting out amazing work and you have transformation sitting in your chair, why aren't you showing the world? Why aren't you doing that? You should show the world. And if you're that busy, you should hire someone to take pictures for you. It's part of the business. So as a salon owner, if you don't have someone dedicated to your social media, because maybe you can't afford it, try looking at Upwork, try finding a virtual assistant for like $5 or $6 an hour. Have a person dedicated to at least hold you accountable to get your content, to edit in a way or post it for you on a daily, consistent basis that you don't become lost in the shuffle of Instagram and social media, that you stay consistent, that you stay relevant in the industry. Because if you don't, you'll be an afterthought in a matter of a couple weeks. Because as you're posting consistently and then you drop off because you just were overwhelmed and you were burnt out, which is ridiculous. Literally just taking a video and editing it for 5 minutes. It's not that difficult. Don't be burnt out from it. Don't be so hard on yourself. And also don't take yourself seriously. Like you don't need Steven Spielberg quality production. Like it's a fucking hair video. Just create it so it does everything I just said before. Stops to scroll, tells a story, proves that you're an authority, says you're an expert, all that stuff. But it doesn't have to be like this over the top 4-hour editing montage. Like let it just do the basics. That's all you need to do. And you can have a virtual assistant do that for you. So as you're busy behind the chair, just set the camera up, have it just film B-roll and move it around the salon in different angles so you catch different angles. And then there you have your B-roll. And then you just talk about the transformation, capture a picture. Who does a really good job of teaching hairstylists how to capture content is Salon Coach Ash or Social Coach Ash. She's on Instagram. If I were to look her up right now, actually I have my phone right now. So let me look her up. She is awesome. I don't think she does hair. I don't think she ever did hair, to be honest with you. Social. Yes. Social Coach Ash. That's her handle. She's awesome. She has really good content from a hairstyle standpoint. And then I want to bring up another person. I always speak about her because I just love her. I think she's awesome. Blonde Chronicles, like Carly. Her content, this is not a dig. It's not the most polished production quality content, but it delivers the exact message she needs it to deliver. This is how you do this pattern. This is how you do this, this blonding technique. This is how you get this result. This is how you do this. And then she gives you the payoff. She tells you how to do it. She gives you the steps and you leave the information. So from a professional standpoint, now, if Carly were to open a salon, I guarantee you she would have her chairs full of stylists wanting to work for her just to get closer to her. So make sure when you're posting social media that your social media as an owner is done in a way that hairstylists in your community want to get closer to you and be part of your team. from an education standpoint, from a motivational standpoint, from an inspirational standpoint, from a culture standpoint, from an evolution of career standpoint, like you evolve people's careers, that needs to be happening. But at the very least, if you don't have anything but your skill set and you just teach that on social media, you will convince clients to change hairstylists, change salons, come to your salon, sit in your chair, sit in your team's chair, and you will convince hairstylists to want to come work for you. Hands down. Social media is one of the most important things you should pay attention to and become a professional and truly study and master that game. Now, like I said the other day, referrals are important. It's all important. Word of mouth is important. Asking your client to leave you a review is important. But what happens is somebody hears about your salon, they check your reviews out, or they get a referral. Jen from Warehouse Salon's amazing. They go to your Instagram and they're like, ooh, I don't know about her. Or they go to your Instagram and like, holy shit, I have to go to her. That's pretty much the two things that happen. That's it. So James, we got, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. If I hit you with like an automated message, I'm sorry, but I have something set up right now in ManyChat where I'm trying to make sure that if you drop a comment and I don't get to your question, at least you can give it to me in the DMs and I'll be able to answer it offline, off the live. And I could send you where the live is at so you could rewatch it again. So I'm still working on that ManyChat automated flow.
Well, Nick,
just so I can make sure I don't lose anybody. But James, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions on social media, please drop it now. James is going to be listening.
I just want to add to your point. Think about your own habits, not just in the salon, but like for me, I go to a restaurant or I want to order some food. I check out their menu, and then the first thing I do is I look at their Instagram. If the food doesn't look
My wife
good,
does that. Yeah,
that's what I do. I do it every time.
I don't do that.
I do it every time.
You guys are the same age too. That's why I look at their review. It's funny too because like your age group plays a big part of this. I will, if it's a clothing brand, I'll go to their Instagram, check them out sometimes, right?
I do.
If it's a coach, 100%. If I'm going to pay for a mentor, go to their Instagram. If it's a salon or like a hairstylist I'm going to bring on my team, I'm going to go to their Instagram and check it out. For restaurants, I like to go to reviews. And I think maybe now I might do it every now and then because my wife will send me the link to the restaurant. But like the Block NJ, the best Instagram for a restaurant ever. They crush it. I love whoever does their Instagram. I love them. I wish I could hire them. I could hire them if they did salons. I don't know if they do or not. I should reach out and ask. But all right, guys, questions, Q&As. What do you got?
We got a couple. Hold on. Let's Dory said a Happy New Year, Nick.
Happy New Year.
Hair by Monique. Just started my own salon suite today. I'm not busy, but I was yesterday and will be tomorrow and Friday. So today I'm taking to catch up possible content videos. Okay. Chloe Espon Salon. What's the logic behind the 8-mile radius?
Oh, so you could do 10 miles. You could do 7 miles. I felt in my experience running ads, the 8-mile radius around my salon was close enough, but further enough, like far enough out of a reach that people would make a drive and I would capture a different community in a different town. So for me, if you're in a city, it might be a 3-mile radius because no one really drives, right? Or if you're in a small town and there's no traffic, you might want to do a 12-mile radius because people can get you still kind of quickly. There's really not as much competition. For me, 8-mile radius worked really well for where my salons are located in New Jersey. Now, Florida, I do a 10-mile radius sometimes just because like it's a little more spread out down there, less congested. So that's my thought process behind the 8-mile radius. It's not because I'm a big fan of Eminem, but to me, 7 miles works really well too. 8 is just that magic number that I found to work well for me.
Well, Nick,
I'm able to pull clients. Like for New Jersey, it's probably like a 20-minute, 40-minute drive, depending on where they're coming from. So 40 minutes is kind of max for a salon, but also I'm capturing anyone who might work in the area too, who might live nearby. But test it out. Like try 10 miles, try 15 miles, try 6 miles. Make sure that you're not spending money on people who can't drive or get to your salon. That's why in the city, 3 miles is fine. They could walk 3 miles for the most part. They could hop on a cab. But
subway.
subway, 1 mile radius might work well in the city too. Test it out.
Well, Nick,
Ads all about testing. So is social media. But the thing is, like, your viral content may not bring in clients. I'd much rather have a 2,000 person follower audience, right? And all 2,000 followers buy my product or get my service than 2 million and no one does. So it's not just about the size of your audience, your followers. It's about, are they raving fans? Do they love me? Do I build a cult-like following that every person buys the products I recommend? They come and get the services that I provide. And do they come to my salon? And do they really value me and the content I'm creating and enjoy it? Because you have to enjoy this. Don't create the content for somebody else. Create it for yourself, because you're the one who has to create it. So make sure it's a format that you actually like, you enjoy doing. Like, I just had this meeting with my coach today. He doesn't like doing lives, but he does such amazing scripted content. I can't do scripted content. He reads much better than me. I'm not a good reader. Like, I just make things up. Maybe because I'm dyslexic, I don't really know, but words get jumbled sometimes. So I'm good at this live. I'm good at reading bullet points. Like, I could get an idea and riff. I'm also an expert at these subjects because I've done them for so long. Like, I can sit and talk about SEO for hours because I'm an expert at it. I can sit and talk about web development because I've done it. Blonding, I know how to lift you from a level 4 to a level 9. And I understand why violet cancels yellow. If you guys want to learn a little bit about color theory, here you go. The reason why violet cancels yellow and doesn't turn a green, like when you put blue and yellow together. I know you guys are like, oh, they're two primary colors to create a secondary color. Yeah, no shit. Blue and yellow equal green. Violet and yellow, it neutralizes it. The reason being is violet's made up of blue and red. Red cancels green. So when you mix it together, or you put the blue on the yellow, you add the little bit of red in there, that makes that blue violet, that stops it from turning green, and it neutralizes the tone. It's math with it's math with colors. So I could talk about that just as much I could talk about using Final Cut Pro to edit a video, or how to lead a team. So you guys are experts at stuff. Speak about them. But the reason why, for me, my content, I could do lives like this is because I'm really familiar with the information. So if you're an expert at cutting, blonding, coloring, styling, products, whatever, just riff, just go at it. It will come across really, really authentically and well. Now, if you have to script stuff out and you're afraid to actually create content, just put the reps in, right? Like, script it out, put the script somewhere, study it, read it. If you have a teleprompter, do that, but read the script. Here's a cool little line. If you want to talk about a product review and you want to do a piece of content, what I want you to do is print out the script, read the whole thing, and then black out a word. Read the whole script, black out another word. Read the whole script, black out another word. Keep doing that until the whole thing is a page of black and you know the whole thing from heart. Then you shoot the content. James.
Well, back to the original question about the 8 mile radius. What I will say is you have one shot and one opportunity. YG Holistic Hair. What is the virtual assistant business that you mentioned?
Hold on, I'm gonna raise your volume here. What was that question, James?
What was the virtual assistant business that you mentioned by YG Holistic Hair?
Oh, Upwork. So I would hire, if you're busy in the suite, or your budget doesn't allow you to hire a social media marketing team, and you don't have the capacity to build an in-house team, which is what I'm in the process of doing now. Shout out to our in-house team, who doesn't post enough, because we're gonna have to have a meeting about it. But so you can go to Upwork. Upwork is a freelancer. There's probably a few of them that you can use. I like Upwork because I've been using it for so long. And you could hire someone for like $4 to $6 to $8 an hour to handle your social media for you. Like, you could create your virtual in-house team. That's what I was speaking about a virtual assistant. They can do everything for you, to be honest with you.
All right, Nick, we have what, about 10 VAs on the team?
Probably.
We use them every day. They're
if you guys want to, I'll show you real quick. Like, let me share my screen. I can bring it up here. Let me bring this brightness up real quick here. I'll show you guys who are watching. Let me go present. How do I present this button here, James?
The
Okay.
share screen.
Here we go.
I'll add it in.
All right. So for those of you listening to the podcast, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm sharing my screen. If you're on YouTube, you could watch this. Here are my pings. And here are all my pings. So when I talk about virtual assistants, here is James with 2 VAs, me and James and 2 different VAs, James with 2 VAs and our other assistant who edits videos for us.
Our editing team, yep.
And this is Klein and Anthony. This is another editing team with James and the other 2 VAs. Here's my personal VA. Here's Jason and my personal VA having a conversation. Here's another VA, another VA, another VA. Here's my two VAs and me speaking. Email marketing guy, virtual assistant. 4 VAs and myself for my Shopify crew build out. Ads VA. These are all conversations with different virtual assistants that I have in my world. And if you see, James is in a lot of these conversations. As an owner of a business, it's your job to learn how to delegate and make sure you are effectively moving the business forward. It's really hard to do all of this by yourself, which is why you have to trust people. And I got to say, I'm going to give James credit here. James is he's very, very special, right? Very handicapped, but he has a really good gift of onboarding virtual assistants. Like he's really good at podcasts. Obviously he's running my podcast now. And when I taught him how to do this, how to hire a virtual assistant for our own internal social media and marketing, he was SEO company. Because like, there's no way, how are we going to get this team? What are they going to do for me? James, what do they do for you?
Everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. Any small tedious task that is going to take up my time, I delegate to them. Even and we have VAs that I now pass off bigger tasks to.
And we have VAs in charge of other VAs.
Yeah.
So you could have one one upper level virtual assistant who's in charge of 4 or 5 or 10 of them.
Shout out to Angel.
Yeah, Angel's awesome. And then you communicate with them rather than 10 people. This way you're having one conversation, not 10, and you get feedback from the team. Then you have like maybe 3 or 4 of these people. You have your social media team who's editing content for TikTok, then one for YouTube, then one for Instagram. Then you got the person writing blogs or doing your email marketing for you. And then everything's connected through your chief marketing officer, which is someone in-house preferably. And that would be like someone you have on your team that could look at all the data and make sure like, hey, last week we only had 3 new clients come in from social media or from Instagram or in the salon as a whole. What did we do different? Oh, we scaled our ads down, or oh, we changed our content. Let's not do that, because 2 weeks ago, whatever we posted brought in 50 new people or 14 new people. So you want to have a person on your team who's handling that for you as well. And guys, if you like this type of information, like it's in the Level Up Academy. Like I teach this at scale. So as a salon owner, you know how to build this internal team.
Yeah, he taught me how to do it, and I took the lead on our team and got everybody going in the right direction, rowing the boat in the same direction. But I will be transparent with everybody. When you're hiring VAs, you're not always going to hire the right one right away. Give them some time, train them, use the camcorder method to teach them. But if they can't pick it up, move on and find somebody else.
You're probably going to go through 10 to 20 virtual assistants before you find your.
Yeah, we've been through a lot. We've got and our team that we've built, they're all rock stars. But we've let go of a lot of VAs as well. So it's not always like 100% where you hire somebody and they're exactly what you need. There's plenty of VAs out there, especially on Upwork. Try them out.
I'll give you guys, be crystal clear on what your definition of done really is. Have a success sheet for people. Be crystal clear on the outcome, like the result that you want to be delivered from the virtual assistant. Like, hey, if I bring you on for social media and you edit my videos, I need to make sure that my watch time stays above a certain percentage. I want to make sure that my saves, like give them some KPIs to measure success in that role. Then that way you're not like, hey, you're not doing good. You can be like, hey, 2 weeks ago we had 14 new clients come in. Our floor is 20. What's going on? Or 2 weeks ago we had 14 come in, and this week we had 5. What happened in between? That's a better example. All right, James. Next question.
We got, let's see. Hell Studio. My salon uses a master's degree student to virtually respond to clients' inquiries and bookings. So I want to learn more into virtual assistants. So definitely reach out to students want part-time gigs. You don't even need to reach out to students.
Should I ask that question again?
I don't even know if it's a question. My salon uses a master's degree student to virtually respond to clients' inquiries and bookings. So I want to lean
I got
more
you.
into virtual assistants. So
that's
definitely
fine.
reach out.
Here's a master's degree student's fine. I feel like she's wasting her time unless she's mastering sales or negotiation or something like that. I don't know. I didn't go to college, but what you want to hire is a sales expert who understands how to have conversation and masters the art of influence. That's you want to put in that position. This way the conversations happen effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But then you want to make sure your content is done in a way, because we're talking about content today, that makes or influences people to reach out to you to initiate the conversation as well. Once you have that magic recipe, then your salon's successful. Once you have an influx of people reaching out to you for an appointment on a consistent daily basis, forget about it.
Blay Boar Styles, do you think Reels are still worth it, or is everyone just doing TikTok now?
No, Reels are worth it, 100%. Guys, the messaging platform is so much better on Instagram. Like TikTok's fine to go viral. I still think the client, you building a clientele, and this is not for everybody. From my own experience, I've been able to build a clientele off of Instagram way better than TikTok. And honestly, Facebook better than Instagram, to be honest with you. Now, not for my coaching area of my business, but for my salon business, like Facebook crushed for me. Facebook's a beast. And I think a lot of the people forget about Facebook, how powerful it is between the groups and I just don't like Facebook. I don't go on it. But I'm more on Instagram now. I just enjoy the platform and the messaging aspect of it. But no, Reels are not dead. What's doing really well is carousels. You could do video carousels too, but formats are really big. Follow the guy from Instagram, whatever his name is. I don't know his name. The owner of Instagram or like the president of the company. He gives you really good tips and information. Also, Enrico, that's his last name. In Conte. James, what's his?
I don't know his last name.
Rico. Yeah, I'm gonna look up right now for you. He's got great information. Jaden has great information. Just drawing a blank here. Yep. Incarnity. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it or not, but Enrico. He's awesome. He's got really good tips on Instagram. So it's RICO.INCARNATI. So I'm going to say it to you one more time. It's Instagram, RICO.INCARNATI. He has a really good Instagram page giving you solid information and tactical advice. Like he studies people's Instagram for like hours and like gives you the blueprint of how they got to be successful.
He tore us a new one.
Yeah.
We got the balayage queen, should I be showing my face more, or is it okay to just post hair content?
Honestly, you should be showing your face more. People are coming to you for a service. You're a personal brand. Like, do you think Kylie Jenner would have be the $1 billion makeup company if she didn't show her face? You know, not to say like Jack Martin, you barely ever see his face, but he shows his hair. He's exceptional. So is the hair you're doing that exceptional that they don't need to see you personally to trust you? Sometimes that might be yes. But if you are a personal brand and they could see you and like you, and they could see your product review and you talking about something passionately, you could convert that person from just a viewer to a client much faster if you actually show your face and you have a personal brand and you smile and they get a chance to see your personality. So I think showing your face is really important, unless the product you're putting out is that exceptional that you don't have to. Next question.
Mikkel loves hair. What time of day are you posting? Because my engagements are all over the place.
Yeah, your engagements are all I would like to look at your content, but your engagements probably all over the place because you are not mastering like the art of, stopping the scroll and capturing attention. So whichever content does the best, find out why it did the best. When it comes to the time to post, I'm not an advocate of that. I don't think it really matters. I think what matters is the piece of content really good? Because Instagram is showing your content to people outside of your followers and outside of your, like outside people who follow you. So if you take a look at your followers, what you could do in your professional dashboard, you just go to your professional dashboard. I'll tell you guys how to get there right now. So you go to professional dashboard, and then James, that's disgusting. Mute yourself next time.
I thought I did.
Yeah. Well, next time do it. You ruined everyone's whole experience here. So James has the flu, everyone. So you go to your professional dashboard, you go to new followers, then you scroll to the bottom, and then there's most active times. So you click on that. That's what it looks like. And that tells you when they're the most active. I find that doesn't really matter because Instagram's showing your content to people outside of people who follow you to see if it's a good piece of content now. So study what did well and keep repeating that and make it better. James, next question.
Tanya Brooks, how do we balance posting content and actually doing hair all day?
So simple. Tanya, just get the camera, get your phone, put it on a tripod, hit record. And then, guys, here's the secret. Don't let it run all day. Hit record for like 10 or 20 seconds or 30 and then hit stop. This way you don't have like hours of footage you got to go through and edit. Here's the really cool part. If you give your virtual assistant access to your iCloud, if you're filming on an iPhone, they can access your iPhotos. So as you're filming all day long, it's going to the cloud. They could rip it down. So by the time you're done with work, you have 10 pieces of content ready to go. Genius, right? You're not doing anything. You're just hitting record. There's a ton of ways you could do it. But capturing stories. If I were you, guys, if you don't have a Shopify store in 2026, you are just, I don't know what to tell you. Like you're not paying attention to anything that I'm saying or that the world's telling you. You can lean into live shopping, social shopping, create content, put your camera in front of you, go live, do your client, explain exactly why you're doing the product, why you're doing the service, how you're doing the highlight. And that person can buy the product that you're using on that live. They could also watch you and see that you aren't filtering or editing your photos. You actually know what you're doing. So the thing with AI and the thing with like what's happening with Higgs field AI and like Gemini and like Nano Banana, all these different AIs that are editing photos for you to make it look seamless, like it's a perfect balayage or perfect blonde. Guess what? People aren't going to know if it's AI or if it's a real picture. But what they are going to be able to tell is if you're going live, if you know what you're doing, and you can't, at least as of right now, I don't think you can, like, do you use AI for a live video? Like this right here is me. I'm willing to bet that there's not one coach in my space or mentor in the beauty space that can sit with me with no script and go live on a multitude of topics like I can. If you guys are listening right now, you know somebody, tell them to come. This is not like a chat, but this is a challenge, yeah. Because I know the stuff. I got so sick of watching people give information out to other people about how to run a salon who never owned a salon, who never owned a salon, doesn't own one now, who doesn't know like what works today and what's effective today, doesn't truly understand marketing, doesn't truly understand leadership, doesn't know how to have the hard conversation with the team member when something catastrophic happened in their life, how to actually handle a stylist on your team who's 22, but then also how to have that same conversation but in a different way with a stylist who is 52 or maybe 46 or 47, or because they're both going through a lot of different changes hormonally too. Like you got someone who just had a baby, so you have postpartum you're dealing with. You got people who are pregnant. You got someone maybe going through IVF. Like the dynamic of personalities that happen in the salon and that you're not prepared for if you never owned one or never dealt with people from a leadership standpoint, how are you going to give that information out? But let's change lanes for a second. Let's go to marketing. Like, do you fully understand how to structure your website's JSON LD file? Do you have an LLM file on your website to let LLMs, which is learning language models, crawl your website properly so ChatGPT can properly source the information from your website to give it to a client? Is your robot.txt file set up? That's robots.txt. That is the file you have in your website that allows the LLMs and Google and the bots to crawl your website to find information to serve it to a person looking for the answer. Can they do that? Can they sit with you and can they tell you how to formulate color for a corrective color? Do they know the 4 areas of a correct? Like, they just don't. This is why I go live. So if you guys are the best hairstylists in your area and you're like, I hate fucking editing photos and I'm not good at like using my iPhone and CapCut and all that, you don't have to be. Go live on a consistent basis. It's completely transparent. And then everybody sees how great you are. And you don't have to worry about the 22-year-old who edits their pictures to make it look better than it really is. You will have people trusting you because there's no hiding behind a filter or CapCut. You get what you get. James, next question.
YG Holistic Hair. Is there any app that you recommend to help content so that you can post quicker?
Honestly, the Edits app is pretty good from Instagram. Submagic. It depends what type of content, right? Because like AI is awesome. Replicate is a great tool for like images. Like what you want to have happen, what kind of content you're creating. So CapCut, I would say CapCut probably is the best app you're going to download on your phone. There's enough information, enough tools out there that you could quickly edit stuff with.
An edit app on Instagram is the same thing as Instagram's version of CapCut. CapCut's for TikTok.
Yeah.
They're basically the same thing. But I would recommend, if you're really jammed on time, I would take one day out of the week for like 2 hours, take all of your content that you want to have posted and schedule it for the week. Go to a scheduling app like Social Pilot.
Yeah, Social Pilot's great for that. Honestly, get the virtual assistant. Like, you would much rather be making $300 doing someone's highlights than spending an hour editing a video. So like do exactly what I said before. Set up your camera, capture the content, film it, give directions. Like, you might have to work with the person,
especially with
so
editing.
they can learn your editing style. But once they learn your editing style and what you want done, like, edit with them live, right? It might take you a couple hours to get that person dialed in. After that, you're done. Film goes into the cloud. They rip it down. They edit it. They post for you. And now you're not doing anything. So you have all the time back in the world. Today Wednesday, James?
Today is Wednesday, the 7th.
I don't have a call today, I don't think. I do have after this, but not for the community. All right.
Ashley Tran Nguyen. What do you think about using Canva templates for posts? Or does that look too generic?
I think it looks too generic. I think you're better off getting your camera on a timer and taking pictures of you in the salon and taking pictures of you because you're the person doing the hair and overlay the text you want in the salon. You don't need a professional camera. The iPhone 17 Pro, I like it better than my $6,000 camera lens I'm using right now.
It drives me nuts. He's like, James, I think I'm just going to use my eye. I'm like, bro, we have the best camera on the market. Let's use it. But he wants to use his iPhone sometimes. I don't get it.
It shoots it so well.
No, it does. It does very well. You're not wrong. But when you have a nice camera like we do, you should use it. We got.
I may just sell this camera and buy 3 iPhones so I can have like, cameras everywhere. All right, James.
Brittany Sims, how do you get comfortable on camera? Because I hate how I look on video.
Yeah, you got to just drop the ego. Everyone hates how they look on video. I took years to get used to that. Understand that you're going to be dead in 100 years and everything you post today is not going to matter. The other thing is create content in a way that actually is meaningful and someone will benefit from it. Someone needs to hear it. The other thing I like to do is this. I think I've given this tip plenty of times on this channel. Take your phone, film yourself. Okay. Just for 5 minutes, riff it. Just talk about a subject you could talk about and just ramble on. When you're done, you can wait a day or two if you want. Like, wait a day typically is what I tell people. But if you want to do it right after, you can do it right after. Take your phone, put it upside down, turn the volume up, hit play first, and then turn it down, hit the volume up. Listen to yourself. Do you say, do you stutter? Do you make any sense? Like, what's going on with your voice? Does it inflect high? Do you have a pitch? Like, do you engage people with your voice and how you speak? Do you have like the same monotone thought pattern. How you speak, is it really fucking boring? Like, or are you entertaining? Do you make it engaging and want people to listen, make people want to listen to you? Next thing, what you do, turn your volume down and watch yourself and take a look at your facial expressions, your hand gestures. How are you moving? Am I engaging? Do I smile? Do I look like a bitch? Do I make some weird thing with my nose? Do I blink a lot? Like, what do you do with your face? Then what you do, take your transcript. You can go to like Descript or whatever, upload the video, get the words that you said, print it out. Then read through what you said. Does it make sense? Are there filler words? Count how many filler words are in there. Then you start becoming a master at content. And the other thing you have to do is just do it. Everybody's going to suck their first 100 videos. It's just going to happen. Like, I hired a speech coach. I hired social media coaches. I hired people to help me. So if speaking is a problem, go live every day for 100 days. Even if it sucks, even if it's scary, just do it. It doesn't matter. Your friends are going to make fun of you. People are going to ask you, why are you doing this? I'm trying to get better at speaking. That's why I'm doing it. The people who really matter will encourage you. They'll give you constructive criticism and feedback, and you'll get better from it. And then eventually you develop a personal brand that will pay you dividends. James.
We got Christina Reyes. Should I be boosting my posts, or is that a waste of money?
No, not a waste of money at all. Is it a good post? If it's a post that didn't do really well organically, it probably will be a waste of money. If it's a post that, if you post on social media, on Instagram, we're going to talk Instagram for a second. If you post on Instagram and that post brought in 20 clients last month, guess what you do? You boost that because that's a good post. If you post on Instagram and you got 3 likes, one was from you, one was from your personal account, one was from your mom, nobody commented, don't. It's probably not a good piece of content. Find out what you did the month before and create that same type of format and content consistently, you get another banger. Only boost content does well. Now, with that said, sometimes content may not do well, but it's still a good piece of content to boost because it builds trust. So if it's a good trust piece of content and the hook might have been weak, but you know that your ideal client would learn more about who you are as a person and trust you, then you could probably boost that content. Boosting content advertising is not a waste of money. It's how I built every single business that I own. From boosting content on Facebook in the beginning, then Instagram, obviously Google, but I dramatically changed my financial life off the back end of running Facebook ads. Because don't forget, you don't just spend money to advertise to not get a return on it. This is the conversation that I think is so frustrating when I talk to like a new business owner. They're like, I don't have the budget for marketing. We're talking about budget for marketing. The marketing gives you a bigger budget. If you spend $1,000, it should make you $4,000 back, which then now you have more money to advertise more. So then you spend $2,000 next month. Then now you have $8,000. Then you do it again, and then you do $4,000. Then now you should have $12,000 because it should start compounding now. Your lifetime value is important. Now those old clients you got from when you were spending $1,000 a month are coming back to you again. Now you have more revenue, and then it just rinse and repeat. That's exactly how I built a salon full of people. So your marketing isn't a liability. It's an asset to your business. Just has to be done right because it will just burn money if you don't do it right. All right. James, what we got?
Rachel Ann Thompson. What do I do if my area is super saturated with other stylists posting all the time?
I love it. You should love that. That means that all you need to do is focus on you, focus on one service that you do better than anybody else in the world, especially in your community. And then between the word of mouth and your content, because you're specifically speaking about that one thing that you're the best at, and that you have a specific technique you might do different, showcase that. Showcase you do it this way so you don't have a mullet when you do a face frame. Showcase why you do your blonding this way so it doesn't get brassy. And every person in that saturated market who has brassy hair, because the one stylist who does really good content but always leaves her clients brassy, you know who I'm talking about out there, they'll see your content and come to you. So like someone asked me the other day, like, would you rather be in a city with like 2 hair salons or a city with 50? Right? Probably 50, because all I got to do is be the best one. There's already people walking or going to that city anyway, driving there, walking in the neighborhood. I just have to change what door they walk into. So yes, it's less competitive in the salon with 2, but there's probably less people in that town, and there's less people going there to get their hair done. So I'd rather be in the place with 50 hair salons, because I'm not worried about them being competition for me, because I know that I'm better than I'm at marketing, better than I'm at doing hair. So to me, it's a no-brainer. All I got to do is capture that person's attention, build their trust, and then have them walk through my door one time, and they're my client. All right, James. I think we're gonna wrap it up.
We got one more. Charlie highlights. She wants to know, when you're finding a salon profit, what would you include your numbers if you're an owner who's a stylist still?
Charlie, yes, because here's what you do. I think we're chatting Instagram too. I think you're not too far from me. This is the right Charlie. Yeah, what I teach in the community now compared to what I used to, as an owner, I used to pull it out, right? Because it's all your income. But as I developed as an entrepreneur, I realized that was not the smartest way to do it, because your chair that you're using could be utilized by somebody else if you want to step away from the chair and really grow a business like a real business owner. So what I do is I put myself on a commission like everybody else. So whether I take that commission as an independent contractor, a 1099, I pay it as a consulting fee somewhere, you just want to make sure you're being savvy with how you're paying the taxes on it, so you don't get killed twice by paying W-2 payroll tax on your own commission you're collecting behind the chair. Different conversation, different day. But yes, you pretend that chair is a stylist who's getting paid 45% commission or whatever your number is. That way, when you remove yourself from the business, key man risk, that chair can still produce that kind of income, and it's a legitimate, accurate number. So that's why you want to do it that way. Now, what you do with the money on the outside, how you can structure it so you don't get killed tax-wise, like I said, different conversation. But that's the ideal way. So now you got a really clear picture on what kind of revenue could be generated by that salon if you were out of the equation and the stylist was in that equation instead of you. That's what Nick Marabella is doing now, not Nick Marabella from a couple years ago. Because I was thinking like a stylist that owned the salon a couple years ago. Now I think like a business owner that does hair. I don't do hair anymore, but like for you, it's you got to think like a salon owner and an entrepreneur who also does hair, not a hairstylist that owns a salon. That's the identity shift, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to leave you with that thought. Change your identity. If you own a salon, you are no longer a hairstylist that owns a salon. You are a salon owner that also does hair. If you are a hairstylist, you aren't just a hairstylist. You are a professional. You're an entrepreneur too. Your business is that chair. It is how you conduct yourself when you're out at events, how you carry a conversation on, how you produce content. If you are a professional, whether you're a commission stylist or rent a chair or have a suite, you need to change your identity to that of a lawyer or a doctor or any other working professional, Olympic athlete, professional, like whatever professional is in your mind, that's who you need to be. When you change your identity, become that person, then you have the ability to make the income of that person. Until then, you hit that ceiling because you're just a hairstylist, or I'm just a stylist that owns a salon. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go and let you guys have a good rest of your day. If you guys own a salon and you're struggling and you're like, I'm doing really well, like my salon's busy, I just don't have profits, or I'm like, you can't have the hard conversation with the team. You're not sure how to price your salon right. You're not sure how to do your commission structure because the person you hired beforehand to coach you gave you some crazy jump through hoops structure to give to your team. Now your team's unhappy and they're leaving. If you need help with any of that, if you need help finding clients, help with marketing, help with leadership, and you truly want to be part of something like a community of salon owners with a coach who can guide you so you don't make the same mistakes that he made, do me a favor, reach out to me, go to apply.nickmarabella.com, and we can get a conversation and see if I am a good fit for you and if you're a good fit for the community. And if you are, we're going to rock and roll and make you have the best year ever. So with that said, guys, if you need help, reach out to me. Even if I got to send you a PDF or you just need my bundle, go to bundles.nickmarabella.com. There's a bunch of master classes in that. We'll definitely get you off in the right direction. But if you're serious about becoming an owner and not just like someone who owns a salon, but truly step into your entrepreneur role, then do me a favor, reach out to me because I would love to help you transform yourself into an elite entrepreneur where you actually have freedom in your life and profits in your salon. So with that said, everybody have a blessed and beautiful day. James, thanks for showing up with the flu. I appreciate you, and see you all later.